morning. It's Tuesday, August 8th. And the other morning on Sunday, I'm watching Face the Nation, which I try to do every Sunday. It comes on the air at 10:30 in the morning, and usually I'm done with my rant at that point in time, and so I can sit back and listen to Margaret Brennan, who moderates the show beautifully, and it's 1 hour, and then I'm ready for lunch. So in any event, this Sunday, Margaret Brennan wasn't working, but Major Garrett was filling in for her, and he had several guests on who were talking about the events of J6. And one of those people was Trump's attorney, John Lauro by name. Now, John Lauro has appeared on a couple of TV shows, and on one of those shows, prior to his appearance on CBS, was on ABC's This Week, and he said he cannot wait to cross-examine Pence because what he will do is completely eliminate any doubt that President Trump firmly believed that the election irregularities had led to inappropriate results. In other words, Lauro is saying that Trump really believed that there were irregularities, major irregularities, that caused him to lose the election. And therefore, Trump was in the right. If he believed that, he wasn't lying. He was telling the nation the truth in his mind. And he believed that Mike Pence will be one of the best witnesses. And it will be his testimony that will get the former president acquitted. And that's if he testifies at the January 6th criminal trial. So they think that Pence is going to tell them a story that will get Trump acquitted. So that's what he said on ABC. Now he was interviewed by Major Garrett on CBS, and I watched that interview. And Major Garrett is not a soft-spoken interviewer. His approach to interviewing is much different than Margaret Brennan's. Garrett gets right to the point, and he asks loaded questions. He asks questions, and he wants an answer, a yes or a no, or a quick explanation to his question. So Lauro told CBS in answer to Garrett's question about what actually happened and what actually the president, the ex-president, wanted Vice President Pence to do. Well, Lauro said the ultimate ask of Vice President Pence was to pause the counts and allow the states to weigh in. So in their mind, they weren't interfering with the election count. They would just wanted them to pause and allow the states to weigh in. No mention of the fact that they had tried to sneak in some of their own electors. And in other TV shows, Lauro had said they didn't ask Pence to do anything that could be considered criminal. He asked them in an aspirational way. Asking is not action. It's core free speech. So when you ask somebody to do something that's illegal, that's free speech. It's aspirational. It's a request. That's insane. And it was more than a request from what I saw on the TV shows. So if we look at the big picture, Pence will definitely be considered a key witness on all of the allegations that Trump tried to overturn the 2020 presidential election, and that he tried to pressure Pence to stop and not carry out his congressional role of certifying Biden's win. And then Pence was on the show. Pence was on the CBS show. And Pence told CBS he has no plans to testify in the case. But he will obey the law and respond to the call of the law if it comes. And sometimes he takes notes, he told them. At particularly important moments, I take notes of things. including during the events related to the January 6th investigation. He said, I have a lot of notes about those things. And given the momentous events that were unfolding, he had to remind himself of what had been said. So he took notes. And I was willing to bet you that nobody on Trump's side took notes. And Lauro, the attorney, can't wait to get Pence on the stand. And if Pence whips out his notes, what is Lauro going to do? I don't know what Lauro's going to do. Meanwhile, in the interview that Pence was giving on CBS, he was very cautious. He didn't say too much, and he didn't come out and attack Trump in any way, shape, or form. Because he, like all the other candidates, has to be very careful about what he says and does, because there's 45 million people who are in Trump's corner. And you can't afford to alienate them by saying things against Trump at this point in time. So all of the candidates are very cautious, and Pence, while trying to be a very honest person, was also cautious Sunday. That Trump's lawyers said on January 5th, the day before the Capitol riot, we want you to reject the votes outright. Now that's a lot different from the stuff that Lauro was saying. We want you to reject the votes outright. Lauro said nothing like that. But on January 5th, that's what they asked Pence to do. Pence went on to say they were asking me to overturn the election. I had no right to overturn the election. That was his stance. That was the stance of a man trying to do the right thing. And Pence is a candidate. He is challenging the front-runner Trump right now. And he has ammunition to cause Trump to lose votes. Because if he's telling the truth about what really happened to him and the nation on that day, then there are several who have to be on the borderline, and they would stop voting and stop chanting for Trump. So Pence is a very pivotal figure in this entire situation. And I see no reason why he shouldn't be running for president ahead of dumb DeSantis. Now let me end this rant with Pence's statement. He said, I don't know what was in his heart. I don't know what his intentions were, but I do know what he and his lawyers asked me to do. And it's what no vice president in American history had ever done before. And frankly, what no vice president or any one person in Washington should ever do again. And that's the end of this rant. Bye.